I'm 90 years old, and I still write every single day. Barbara Taylor Bradford said that with a sparkle, and 2 years later she's 92, still producing bestsellers, still curious, still working. That sentence isn't proud boasting, it's a lesson. It tells you everything about how she treats life, as a craft, a ritual, and a reason to get up every morning. Here's what grabs me as a brain specialist. At 92, she still has sustained attention, crisp memory, and a creative output most people half her age would envy. That mental clarity isn't luck, it's a pattern of tiny daily habits, sleep, movement, food choices, and a fierce commitment to purpose that add up to extraordinary cognitive resilience. From a working-class childhood in Yorkshire to publishing A Woman of Substance in 1979, a novel that went on to sell about 35 million copies. Barbara's story reads like one of her own novels, resilient, disciplined, and quietly unstoppable. She's written 39 best-selling novels, kept a steady routine, and never stopped showing up to the page. Before we dive into her 5 secrets, tell us where you're watching from. Drop your city or country below. And if you want more stories that actually teach you how to live longer and think sharper, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Coming up, the first secret she credits for staying youthful, how she structures her day, her sleep routine, and why she never stops writing. Stick around. We'll break it down step by step. Barbara's daily life reads like a carefully written scene, calm, disciplined, and built around one central truth: purpose fuels longevity. Here's how a typical day looks, and why each small habit matters for brain health and vitality. Morning, rise with intention. Barbara usually wakes early. If she's writing, it's 6 p.m. On lighter days, around 7 p.m. Those quiet morning hours are her most productive, when focus and creativity run highest. She begins with coffee, a ritual that sharpens attention and supplies antioxidants. Moderate caffeine helps alertness without the crash when dosed wisely. Midday, move, stand, and snack, smart. Long hours at the desk used to keep her seated, so she built movement into work. A daily walk, short standing lunches, and hourly breaks to get up and move your legs. These tiny bursts fight the metabolic harm of prolonged sitting and keep blood flow to the brain steady. Around noon, she takes a brief, nourishing snack, fruit or a small healthy plate, then returns to writing with renewed clarity. Afternoon, deep work until the evening. She writes until about 4 p.m., protecting that focused block for the craft she loves. This predictable routine trains the brain to enter a deep work state reliably, preserving executive function and sustained attention. Evening, wind down sleep. Hygiene. Bedtime is consistent, usually 10-11 p.m. Good sleep consolidation is non-negotiable for memory, mood, and cellular repair. Night routine removes makeup, cares for skin, and avoids late-night stimulation, all simple rituals that cue the body to rest. Lifestyle habits that add up. Grooming presentation. She chooses to look nice daily. Being well-groomed isn't vanity, it's social fuel. Feeling put together increases confidence and invites positive social responses, which benefits mental health. Minimal alcohol. Occasional champagne, rarely daily drinking. Moderation helps preserve sleep quality and reduces inflammation. Skincare selective treatments. She uses creams, removes makeup nightly, and has occasional cosmetic treatments like Botox, small investments in self-care that support confidence and well-being. Supplements. Simplicity. No heavy drug regimens, basic vitamins and careful eating are her preference. Why this works? From a brain health lens. Structured days, plus early mornings. Optimize circadian rhythm and cognitive performance. Frequent micro-movement. Counters the metabolic downsides of sitting and supports vascular health to the brain. Purposeful work. Writing every day. Strengthens neural networks involved in language, memory, and executive control. It's workout for the mind. Consistent sleep. Enables memory consolidation, emotional regulation, and cellular repair, the biological backbone of resilience. Practical tips you can steal from Barbara. Today. 1. Protect 1 to 2 hours of uninterrupted morning focus. For work or creative play. 2. Set a gentle alarm every hour to stand or walk for 3 to 5 minutes. 3. Aim for a 10-11 p.m. bedtime window and a regular wake time. 4. Keep a small, healthy midday snack to sustain energy, fruit, yogurt, nuts. 5. Adopt one grooming habit that makes you feel ready. It lifts mood and social engagement. Barbara Taylor Bradford has a simple rule. Some of us don't wear as well as others, but I work at it. Here are the 5 habits she credits for maintaining energy, creativity, and that timeless radiance, plus the 5 foods she leans on and the 3 she limits. The 5 secrets Barbara swears. By 1. Purposeful routine. She writes every day. Daily creative work keeps her mind sharp and gives life clear meaning. Purpose. Mental stamina. 2. Consistent sleep rhythm. Early to bed, early to rise when writing. Consistent bedtime around 10-11 p.m. Sleep protects memory and mood. 3. Micro movement built into the day. Walks, standing lunches, hourly breaks from sitting. Small, frequent movement preserves circulation and metabolism. 4. Careful, simple eating. Discipline over glamour, mostly modest portions, plant-forward sides, and occasional treats. Eating with restraint keeps weight and energy stable. 5. Self-care presentation. Skincare, grooming, and small aesthetic routines. Makeup removal, creams, occasional Botox. These boost confidence and social engagement, which support mental health. Barbara's top 5 foods and why. 1. Coffee. Morning ritual provides antioxidants and mental alertness in moderation. 2. White fish, sea bass, haddock, cod, plaice. Lean protein, low in saturated fat, rich in B vitamins. Supports muscle, brain, and bone health. 3. Steamed green vegetables. Nutrient-dense with preserved vitamins when steamed, fiber plus micronutrients for longevity. 4. Seasonal fruits, blueberries, strawberries, cherries, apples. Antioxidants and phytonutrients that support cognition and reduce inflammation. 5. Lamb, occasionally stewed in broth. Nostalgic, nourishing winter comfort, provides iron, zinc, and B12 when enjoyed sparingly and cooked slowly. 3 foods she tries to avoid. Sugary desserts, sweets, reduced to minimize weight gain and long-term metabolic risk. High salt cooking, she limits added salt. Keeps blood pressure and cardiovascular risk lower. Heavy carbohydrate loads, e.g. large potato portions. Eat carbs carefully because she gains weight easily. Quick takeaways you can use tomorrow. Protect a morning writing creative block or focus hour. Even 30 minutes helps. Stand up or walk for 3-5 minutes every hour. Choose 1 steamed vegetable mob at every main meal. Swap 1 dessert a week for a dense bowl of seasonal berries. Keep a simple, grooming ritual. It costs little time and returns big mental benefits. Barbara treats self-care like a daily appointment with her future self. Small, consistent rituals that preserve skin, sharpen memory, and steady the mood. These aren't vanity moves. They're resilience tools. Skincare rituals, simple, consistent. Remove makeup every night. Barbara never goes to bed with makeup on. Cleansing lets skin repair overnight. Gentle cleansing, plus moisturizer. Use a mild cleanser, then a nourishing cream to lock in moisture and protect the skin barrier. Targeted treatments. Night creams with basic antioxidants and gentle retinoids, if tolerated, help cellular renewal. plus sunscreen every morning to prevent sun damage. Occasional professional touch-ups. She's open about small cosmetic choices like forehead Botox, not a lifestyle, but an occasional boost for confidence and facial muscle relaxation. Grooming as medicine. Looking neat and well turned out isn't superficial. It improves social interactions and mood, which matters for mental health. Sleep rituals, the backbone of cognitive health. Consistent bedtime and wake time. Barbara aims for a steady 10-11 p.m. lights out and an early rise when writing. Regularity reinforces circadian rhythms. Wind down routine. Remove stimulation an hour before bed. Calm activities, dim lights, and skincare cues the brain to relax. Midday reset. A light, nourishing snack and a brief pause at noon refreshes energy for afternoon deep work without disrupting nighttime sleep. Moderation with stimulants and alcohol. Coffee in the morning, light champagne rarely. Timing matters for sleep quality. Comfort and darkness. A cool, dark, quiet bedroom helps memory consolidation and emotional regulation overnight. Protecting memory mood, daily patterns that add up. Daily creative work. Writing every day is cognitive training. Language, planning, and sustained attention. Get regular exercise. Micro movement and sunlight. Short walks and standing breaks boost circulation and mood. Outdoor light also reinforces healthy sleep cycles. Social contact and presentation. Regular social rituals, lunches, calls, being well turned out. Reduce isolation and keep the mind engaged. Novelty and learning. Read newspapers, learn small new skills, or revisit past hobbies. Novelty builds new neural pathways. Emotional rituals. Small habits like gratitude notes or brief midday reflections stabilize mood and protect against low-affect periods after loss. Structured rest. Short, planned rests, not long naps, help mental stamina without fragmenting nighttime sleep. Practical mini checklist to steal from Barbara. 1. Remove makeup plus apply night cream tonight. 2. Set a consistent bedtime within the next 3 nights. 3. Take a 10-15-minute morning walk today. 4. Schedule one focused creative block for tomorrow morning. 5. Reach out to a friend or family member. Social contact counts as preventive medicine. Barbara Taylor Bradford's life story is threaded with hardship, wartime memories, long hours of work, and the staggering loss of her husband after 56 years of marriage. She once said of that loss, "I felt I'd had half of me taken away." And yet, she did not fade. Instead, she leaned into routine, community, curiosity, and small daily rituals that rebuilt meaning and sharpened her mind. Here's how she transformed grief and challenge into fuel for a productive, joyful life, and how you can borrow those habits. 1. Routine as rescue. Why it matters. Predictable daily structure stabilizes mood and gives the brain a scaffold to keep moving forward after trauma. Barbara's move. She kept writing. The page became both work and therapy, a place to show up even on hard days. You can steal this. Create a tiny, non-negotiable daily ritual, 15 to 30 minutes. Write, read, garden, or walk. Show up to the ritual even when you don't feel like it. 2. Purpose productivity. Why it matters. Purpose sharpens attention, slows cognitive decline, and provides a reason to engage socially. Barbara's move. A lifetime of books, deadlines, and an active creative mission. She never planned to retire. You can steal this. Find a project that matters to you. Mentor, volunteer, teach a class, or start a small creative pursuit. Purpose is portable at any age. 3. Community social presentation. Why it matters. Social contact lowers inflammation, reduces loneliness, and protects the brain. Barbara's move. She kept social rituals, being well turned out, going out, reading newspapers, staying engaged with people. She believed presentation invites connection. You can steal this. Keep one social ritual every week. A phone call, a walk with a neighbor, or a local club. Dress in a way that makes you feel confident. It changes how people react to you and how you feel about yourself. 4. Active grieving emotional habits. Why it matters. Processing loss, not denying it, prevents chronic stress that harms memory and health. Barbara's move. She spoke about her grief, honored memories, and kept rituals of care, self-care, remembrance, and small comforts, like her midday snack and steady routine. You can steal this. Allow structured grieving. Write letters, keep a memory box, see a grief counselor, or join a support group. Small acts of remembrance are powerful medicine. 5. Lifelong learning intellectual curiosity. Why it matters. Novelty and learning build new neural pathways and guard against cognitive slowing. Barbara's move. Reading newspapers, staying culturally curious, and always learning for her next book. You can steal this. Read one article per day, learn a short new skill online, or join a book club. Consistency beats intensity. 6. Small comforts that compound. Why it matters. Tiny routines, skincare, grooming, a cup of coffee, anchor identity and mood. Barbara's move. Cleansing, creams, occasional Botox, and looking neat were daily acts of self-respect. You can steal this. Adopt one simple self-care habit tonight. Remove makeup, take a short walk, or set a consistent bedtime. Practical, 5-step starter plan, doable. This week. 1. Schedule a 20-minute creative block for 3 mornings this week. 2. Call or visit one friend, dark family member. Keep it social, not medical. 3. Start a tiny grooming ritual, 10 minutes before noon one day. 4. Read one newspaper article or short essay daily for 7 days. 5. Write one short memory or gratitude note about a loved one. Keep it private or share it. Barbara's secret isn't a miracle. It's persistence. She rebuilt after loss not by waiting to feel better, but by acting as if. She still had a role to play. That steady acting became reality, sharper mind, fuller days, and a life that keeps giving. Barbara doesn't follow fads. She follows simple rules that fit a busy writer's life. Modest portions, nutrient-dense plates, and cooking methods that preserve flavor and vitamins. Here's her approach, turned into a practical plan you can steal. The rules behind every meal. Small portions, sensible pacing. She doesn't have a big appetite, so meals are moderate, enough to fuel long writing sessions without causing heaviness or energy crashes. Plant forward with lean protein. Plates center on steamed greens, seasonal fruits, and white fish. Meat, like lamb, is occasional and treated as a comfort dish, not a daily staple. Minimal added salt and sugar. Flavor comes from herbs, citrus, and good olive oil, not a salt shaker or dessert bowl. Gentle cooking to preserve nutrients. Steam, bake, sauté briefly, or slow cook. Avoid long boiling that destroys vitamins. Hydration, modest treats. Coffee in the morning, a small midday snack, and the occasional glass of champagne, but nothing that interferes with sleep or appetite control. A sample day, Barbara style, easy to copy. Morning, 6 to 8 a.m. Cup of coffee, light toast, only if hungry, or skip and go straight to work. Midday, noon snack. Fresh seasonal berries or an apple, and a handful of nuts taken as a short pause away from the desk. Lunch, standing light. Baked white fish, cod haddock, piles, big plate of steamed green vegetables, spinach broccoli, plus drizzle of extra virgin olive oil and lemon. Afternoon, back to work. Small walk breaks, water or tea. Evening, 4 to 6 p.m. Hearty slow-cooked lamb stew in winter, occasionally. Otherwise a vegetable-forward dinner with beans or a small portion of whole grains. Night. Light herbal tea if needed. Remove makeup and night cream as part of wind down. Cooking methods. Swaps. Barbara's practical hacks. Steam veggies. Instead of boiling, retains more vitamins and texture. Bake or sauté fish now with herbs and lemon rather than frying. Slow cook stews. Winter comfort, so meat is tender and you use less added fat. Swap salt for fresh herbs, citrus zest, garlic, and a splash of high-quality olive oil. Dessert swap. A small bowl of berries or a piece of dark chocolate instead of a large pastry. Carb control. If you love potatoes, have them small and paired with protein plus veg, not as the bulk of the plate. Supplements. Small supports. Barbara keeps it simple. Basic vitamins as needed, not heavy pharmacology. If you're considering supplements, talk with your doctor about what your labs show, B12, vitamin D, etc. Cooking with real chicken broth. Occasionally, not powdered, for winter stews, adds minerals and comfort without empty calories. Practical tips you can use tomorrow. 1. Steam one green vegetable and add it to every main meal this week. 2. Try standing for 10 minutes at lunch one day and notice energy afterward. 3. Replace one dessert this week with a small bowl of mixed berries. 4. Swap table salt once per day for fresh herbs or lemon zest. 5. If you cook meat, try a slow-cooked version once this month to savor smaller portions. Barbara's diet is not restrictive, it's intentional. Small, consistent choices, the right fish, steamed greens, a berry snack, support energy, cognition, and a body that keeps up with a life of purpose. Barbara didn't let grief define her. She rebuilt a life rich in connection, purpose, and small habits that protect cognition and lift the spirit. Social routines and mental habits aren't fluff. They're brain medicine. Here's how she used them, and how you can copy the same playbook. 1. Anchor routines that create belonging. Daily social rituals. Simple things like a phone call to a friend, a weekly lunch with a neighbor, or attending a local club keep social ties active. Why it helps. Regular social contact lowers loneliness, a known risk for cognitive decline, and reduces stress hormones that harm memory. Barbara's move. She kept appointments, public readings, lunches, and small social events, even when she wasn't in the mood. Showing up mattered more than the size of the event. 2. Purpose through contribution. Mentoring, giving back. Teaching, mentoring younger writers, or supporting literary charities provides meaning and keeps the brain engaged. Why it helps. Altruistic activities increase dopamine and social reward circuits which protect motivation and mood. Barbara's move. She stayed active in literary circles, letters, mentorships, and occasional public events, roles that affirmed identity and usefulness. 3. Rituals to process loss, active grieving. Structured remembrance. Short, regular rituals, writing letters, lighting a candle on anniversaries, or keeping a memory journal, help process grief without being overwhelmed. Why it helps. Grief that's acknowledged prevents chronic stress and its damaging effects on sleep and cognition. Barbara's move. She honored her marriage and memories in small, private ways while continuing to create public work. The 4. Intellectual socializing. Book clubs, discussion groups. Conversations about books, current events, or art stimulate language networks and critical thinking. Why it helps. Social learning, discussing ideas, forces retrieval and synthesis of information, strengthening memory circuits. Barbara's move. She read newspapers, talked about culture, and stayed curious, habits that keep the mind nimble. 5. Presentation social signal management. Dress and grooming as social currency. Looking well turned out invites better social responses and boosts self-respect. Why it helps. Positive social feedback elevates mood and encourages further engagement. an upward spiral for mental health. Barbara's move. Small daily grooming rituals signaled to herself and others that she was still fully present. 6. Manageable novelty learning. Micro-learning. Small, consistent learning, 1 article a day, a short podcast, or trying a new recipe, keeps novelty in life without cognitive overload. Why it helps. Novelty drives neuroplasticity and forms new neural pathways that protect against decline. Barbara's move. She stayed current with news, adapted to new tech enough to connect, and kept curiosity alive. 7. Social safety nets, professional support. Therapy, support groups, or trusted friends. When loss is deep, professional support or peer groups provide tools to cope and process. Why it helps. Emotional processing through safe channels prevents rumination and chronic cortisol elevation. Barbara's move. She spoke openly about grief and kept trusted confidants, real people who could hold difficult feelings. Barbara's resilience wasn't built in a day. It was crafted from consistent social actions, purposeful work, and tiny rituals that kept her mind and heart engaged. These are low-cost, high-impact habits, and they're yours to copy. When Barbara Taylor Bradford wakes up, she's not just thinking about breakfast. She's thinking about what she's going to learn, create, or explore today. That's not accidental. It's a mindset she's cultivated for decades, and science says that mindset might be one of the most powerful anti-aging tools we have. Barbara's lifelong curiosity in action. Still writing at 92, 39 novels and counting. Exploring new plots and historical settings. She doesn't recycle the same formula. Attending events, giving interviews, traveling when possible. She stays plugged into the world. She often says, "When you retire, you die." Not to be morbid, but to remind us that purpose is fuel. The science behind curiosity brain health. Neuroplasticity. Learning new skills, whether it's a language, instrument, or technology, builds new neural pathways. Cognitive reserve. Engaging your mind over a lifetime builds a buffer against memory decline and even dementia symptoms. Emotional resilience. Curiosity pulls you toward joy, connection, and new experiences instead of letting loss or boredom pull you down. If you've been following Barbara's story, you already know she's a master at keeping her mind young. But here's the thing. You can't separate a sharp mind from a healthy body. Barbara doesn't treat them as 2 different goals. She treats them as one continuous loop. Barbara's formula for the mind-body loop. 1. Morning movement. Before writing, she gets outside. Sunlight plus movement. Mood plus alertness boost. 2. Purposeful breaks. Instead of checking emails, she uses breaks to walk or do light stretching. 3. Evening wind down. Gentle movement or tidying around the house helps her shift from work to rest without mental overload. This is why, at 92, Barbara still radiates that rare combination of mental sharpness and physical vitality. Her body feeds her brain fuels her body, and that loop, if you protect it, can carry you far past the age most people expect to slow down. Barbara Taylor Bradford's life is proof that age doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean refinement. At Omar. 92. She still wakes with purpose, still writes, still learns, and still laughs. Her secret isn't a magic pill or perfect genes. It's the daily choice to move her body every day, eat with care and balance, protect her sleep like gold, stay mentally challenged, keep her heart open to people and life, and perhaps her greatest lesson, don't wait until later to start living well. Later becomes faster than you think. So, whether you're 52 or 82, take a page from Barbara's story. Design the habits today that will let you still be thriving decades from now. Because youth isn't an age. It's an attitude, built day by day.